Hello. Hi and welcome to our special on the XL Bully series. So I am going to talk in this video about the XL Bully ban in the UK, what it actually means and what you need to know. I will link also the government pages, etc., where you can find the criteria if you want to have a look. But yeah, I hope this provides some clarity or just like spreads the message, because it's important that everyone knows, especially the ones who obviously are fellow bully parents. So from end of this year, which means like the 31st of December 2023, it is illegal to breed, sell or advertise or even rehome. So from the 31st of December 2023, it will be illegal to breed, to sell, to advertise, to to rehome or to abandon an XL bully or let them stray. Also, this means that going forward, you will have to muzzle your XL bully and they have to be kept on a leash. If you want to keep your XL bully, because you currently already have, so they have to be muzzled and on a lead in public, and you will have to make sure that your XL bully is not able to leave your property. So you will need fencing, etc. I mean, to be honest, like, this is the case for every dog, right? So no dog should be just able to stray or escape your own property. So, I mean, this is basically simple responsible dog ownership. But again, they will be illegal to be owned, except if you have an exemption. If you want to keep your bully, you will need to apply for a certificate of exemption, which there is not yet any information released on how to do this or when to do this. Right now, you can't apply yet. So this is all very fresh, all new, so this will be released later on. And then you can basically apply for the certificate of exemption. So DEFRA is currently not yet accepting applications for this certificate of exemption. However, if you want to keep your XL bully, you will have to apply for one. Otherwise, it will be illegal to own one and keep your dog. So this is really important that you do this. There is an application fee, which is £92.40 to cover the administration costs. And you have until 31st of January 2024 to apply for this certificate of exemption. You will have to, and again, I will post every link down below from where I got this data. DEFRA also has released a timeline where you can basically read along and put it in your diary when you have to do what. But there's a few things you can already do in advance. To keep your XL bully, you will have to make sure that your dog is microchipped, again, which is, it should be part of responsible dog ownership. So if you haven't done this, get it booked in with your vet and microchip your dog. Your XL bully will have to wear a lead and a muzzle at all times when out and about in public. And you have to have a secure place where they can't escape from. Regarding the muzzles, I know that there is currently a bit of, well, let's say an issue of finding muzzles or finding enough muzzles for other dogs that are basically a good fit for your bully, because they are needing obviously a bigger size than most companies will produce. So I will link also, and I will do a separate video about this, but I will link also some companies that do create bigger muzzles now. They're currently in the production, so hopefully they will be ready when we need them. But I will also link you some other companies from abroad. So there's a few from Germany, as well as from other countries, where you can find muzzles for your XL bully. And we will also cover on how to muzzle train your dog, because obviously suddenly having to wear a muzzle can be very uncomfortable for your dog, and we want to do this in a positive way so your dog doesn't get scared or feels uncomfortable, etc. Another thing, if you want to keep your XL bully, is that you have to neuter them. So it only says your dog has to be neutered, so I would assume that this also means that females would have to be spayed. Your vet can probably help you with this inquiry, so just gonna ask them to be on a safe side. So I will read this out. You will have to neuter your dog if your dog is less than 1 year old on January 31st, 2024. So if they are still younger than 1 year, it must be neutered by end of this year. So basically by the 31st of December 2024. If your dog is older than 1 year on 31st of January 2024, it must be neutered by 30th of June 2024. We recommend that you arrange for your dog to be neutered as soon as possible to ensure that you meet these deadlines. So there are concerns from some vets and from dog owners because neutering dogs too early can have like implications on their growth and also on their confidence because it's linked to testosterone. So you will have a bit more time to do this. But, and this is the big but, please do keep in mind that we don't know yet how many dogs will be kept, but chances are that there's quite a lot of bullies who will be kept and who will have to be neutered. And given their size, and this was from the Parliament discussion about the bully ban, given their size, some vet practices won't be able to neuter as many dogs in a week or in a day from this size than they would be able to do with like smaller dogs. So you want to make sure that though you have some longer time, you want to book this in and want to get it done because there will be quite a high demand. I mean, naturally, because it's a requirement. So definitely want to book this in and talk to your vet, etc. If your dog is not yet neutered, I can only highly recommend you're going to get this done. At least like schedule it in as quickly as possible so you're on the safe side. Then there's a few criteria when it comes to the owner. So the owner of an ex bully has to be at least 16 years old or older. You will also have to take out insurance against your dog injuring other people. And you can get this one from the Dogs Trust membership. It's actually really, really affordable. I think it's £25 a year. So this is something you definitely want to check out. Again, I will link it down below. But this is something you need to have. And yeah, this is actually really affordable. And it's also one that takes on these kind of dogs. We spoke earlier about applying for the certificate of exemption, and there will be some more information on how to get it, etc. However, you will have to provide this or show it to a police officer if you're being asked, either like right away or within 5 days after the inquiry. So this is something you would have to have like present, and also, I mean, guess it makes sense to carry it around with you. But also to be really thorough with this and to basically show it after being asked within this short time frame. Then we spoke about the muzzle and leash training already. However, there's also some free resources available from the Blue Cross, from Dogs Trust, and from the PDSA, which I will link down below as well. So if you want to start training your dog to walk properly on a leash and also to get them trained on a muzzle, you can start doing this now. So you have already built the first step of positive associations, and then later on obviously you want to practice that the muzzle can be put on properly, safely and securely, and also that it's comfortable for your dog, that they are getting used to wearing the muzzle and not having them on for the first walk a few hours or something. So really to like for shorter times, and that they're comfortable. Also, you want to have a muzzle where your dog is able to pant and can get some water as well. Another thing that is an option, and I find this quite hard to say, but I mean, I obviously love my dogs, and I would like to. What do it in your room? And I would like to. I mean, I try to keep these videos as non-emotional as possible and try to be as objective as possible. However, it's quite an emotional topic for so many, and what I'm going to talk about in a minute, I just want to make sure that people understand why this is a valid option for some and maybe the only option for some. And before you judge, please try to put yourself in these people's shoes. So there is the option that if you want to give up your ex-bully, basically to be euthanized, so you can, if you don't want to keep, or if you choose not to keep, I don't think I should say if you don't want to keep, but if you choose not to keep your ex-bully, maybe because you can't afford it or whatever the reason is, then you can ask your vet to euthanize your dog. And you can actually claim £200 compensation towards the cost. So there's a financial compensation if you choose to put down your dog. And you and your vet will have to fill in a compensation form to make the claim. And again, there will be soon some more information provided on how to make the claim, etc. I mean, I guess this is the point that loads of people were found quite worrying, because obviously, it basically provides owners with a financial benefit of putting down potentially healthy dogs, and dogs who are young and who could otherwise have lived happily as pet dogs without putting any risk towards the public or someone else. Again, please try not to be judgmental. For some, this might be the only option, especially because there will be costs coming with a ban, etc. Also, please do keep in mind that for some people this might also be an option, because owning a dog that is being put on the Dangerous Dogs Act, on the list, that is being classified as an illegal dog, and there has been loads of publicity around ex-bully attacks or alleged ex-bully attacks, and it might be hard for people who own these breeds to find housing, and maybe some housing associations, while they might not be allowed to say you can't have pets in general, I'm pretty sure there are, and please do check this with your own contract, but there will probably be options for landlords to refuse having alleged dangerous dogs in their building. So please, before you judge people, and I'm a rescue advocate, I'm a bully advocate, so I'm not saying this lightheartedly, but please do not judge if you don't know the story or anything. If you have not been, or if you are not in this situation, if you're lucky enough to not be in this situation, then please do not judge people who take on this offer, because again, you don't know what the circumstances are. And I'm also saying this because after the 31st of December, it will be illegal to transfer an ex-bully to another person. So there is not the option to rehome your dog, an ex-bully, to someone else. There's, I mean, you can do this obviously before, but there's a lot of people who currently want to give up their dogs, and shelters are full. There's a lot of dogs who need homes, and if you can adopt a bully, and if you would like to adopt a bully, please do it before the 31st of December, because this is basically the only time, and the time is ticking now. So yes, please, again, do not judge what the options for, but just accept this. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that rescue shelters won't be able to rehome ex-bullies after this period as well. So again, this is just for the UK. This does not mean it's the same for other countries, but in our country, this means these dogs won't be able to be rehomed. One thing regarding the euthanasia of, basically putting to sleep healthy dogs was, and this came up in the parliament discussion as well, whether vets are actually going to do this. So generally, vets won't put down healthy dogs for no reason. However, I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume that maybe this is different if it's a breed that is banned. So yeah, please go to talk about this with your vet if you think this is the option for you. And then the last point I think that is relevant, and again, we're going to talk about the breed definition of how the breed is being defined in another video, because it will be way too long otherwise. But obviously it will also be illegal to breed or to sell puppies, and basically XL dogs. So yes, if you are a breeder, and in case you're watching this, I doubt it to be honest, but if you breed these dogs, then obviously you're not going to have, you can't have puppies anymore, right? So please do stop any breeding right now, because it will be illegal to rehome them, to sell them, etc. So, alright guys, so to sum this up, So to sum this up, the bully breed ban is decided. So bully breeds will be, well, XL bullies will be illegal to own, to sell, to rehome, to breed, etc., to abandon within the UK beginning from next year. So the timeline is actually quite short. The timeline is actually quite tough. It's quite a short timeline. So yes, please do inform yourself. Please do inform yourself. I will put the necessary resources, or the ones that I have, out for you, and put them in the description box, and put them in the description box down below. But please also do make your own research. Stick to the government pages for information. There's also quite a lot of information on Instagram if you want to, get some tips. But I think most of the relevant information is actually on the government page. But regarding muzzles, etc., you might want to ask other people who already use muzzles where they got theirs from, and make sure that it's one that actually fits your dog. And in the next video, we're going to talk about what defines an XL bully in the UK, because here they are not a recognized brand. Because here they're not a recognized breed, or defined breed, so we're going to talk about the criteria in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.